Hello, everyone. Mel Greenberg here,
And I'm Karen Glasser.
and welcome to Uncorked, life exposed in the most unexpected ways, where what you see is not always what you get. Uncorked is brought to you by Vitalcy, the guide to living in a stage of growth, purpose, and discovery.
So, whether you're here live or in replay, doesn't matter. We love you. Make sure you say hi in the comments and tell us where you are watching from. So, first, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
This is so exciting. We're obviously talking about the new year.
So we're drinking.
But first, we have to drink. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Prosecco.
Of course you are. I am drinking Martinelli's apple cider, and the reason why is that we don't all drink, right? Well, we do.
We do, but not all the time.
But not all the time, and you don't always have to drink to toast. And so we thought we would just show the yin and the yang. This is Martinelli's Prosecco. Cheers.
Cheers. Happy New Year.
Mm.
And it's yummy.
Delicious.
So delicious.
So, what exactly are we talking about today?
We're talking about, first of all, the new year.
Mm-hmm.
January, new beginnings, new day, new me, new you.
Right.
Know? And to that end, in our discussions, we really realized how we sort of fall into these preconceived notions of who we are or who we should be and what we should do.
Exactly.
And then we circled around to resolutions, which we actually 100% unequivocally
hate
in unison agreed.
Yeah.
No, not doing it. They don't serve us. Let's talk about why.
They set you up for failure. They totally set you up for failure because we all tend to have big, pie in the sky resolutions. Mm-hmm. I'm going to lose, 30 pounds in 6 months, or I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week, or it's not realistic.
It's not. And you start with the best intentions, and I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
And you make it, but then life takes over. So these resolutions that we set ourselves up for are not sustainable.
Correct. And so we're going to suggest a different way to do this. It's something called a life balance wheel, where we're going to set goals instead of resolutions.
And I'm going to tell you, Caren introduced me to this. And at first, again, I was like, wait a second, I just don't buy into those kind of things. That's not how my mind works.
Right.
But it's a game changer. It really is.
Because I know we were talking because we did it. We did it before we're presenting it to you. Mm-hmm. And I know that you were surprised and I was surprised when I did it, was like, wow, or I didn't know that. I didn't know that these were the issues. So we're going to stop right now. I'm going to put up a sample of this. And by the way, it is in the Uncork kit, which we'll show you how to do that later on. But as you look at this, it's called the balance wheel. Now, clearly it's a wheel because it's a circle and it has spokes on it. But this is a way to literally identify different areas of your life and where you feel you are.
Well, and it goes back to I'm so much more, because immediately I looked at the ones, and we did it. We both decided what we were going to do. We used the ones that they provide, and you can fill these talking points in any way that you're comfortable with and in areas that you really want to focus on. But in doing the ones that were here, I thought this is going to be this. And you take your time and really be honest with yourself in filling them out. And it was shocking. Surprise. I'm so much more.
Totally. And so when you look at this, and you'll be able to download it from the kit, and there'll be some instructions, you've got a lot of different things here. You've got physical health. You have spirituality, creativity, life vision, emotional well-being, relationships,
career,
and personal growth.
And life vision.
Yeah, and there's so many different things. Now, if those don't work for you, maybe it's going to be just 4 of these. And you can do that. This is not locked into like you have to do it a certain way. And I was really surprised at the things that came up.
I was. Yeah. Also.
Totally surprised. So we encourage you to take a look at this, and I'm going to give you some other ideas, and then I'm going to show you how to do this. So other ideas might be your business, your blog, your mental health, self-care, which we talked about last month, education, home life, family. So there's lots of different things. In your life what you are so much more. Maybe none of these. Maybe there are other things that you do. So the way you do this is you're going to take a pencil or a pen. Actually, I would encourage a pen in a particular color, because we're going to tell you how to do it throughout the year. first of all, you're going to do this every month. That's the first thing, right? And the first month in January, you take a pencil, a colored pencil, whatever, and you're going to put that within each one a dot as to where you feel you fall.
From the center,
which is like nothing. You really have a problem.
You need the most work.
Yeah.
You really feel empty in that area.
And at the top, it's good.
You nailed it.
You nailed it. Totally nailed it. And then you're going to take a pencil or that same color, and you are going to attach the dots all the way around, so you can visually see where there might be a deficit in your life. That's where we found the most interesting things.
Yeah.
And don't berate yourself. When you look at it, you go, okay, this is what I have to work on right now. And that is what we're going to encourage you to do. In February, when you take this out, now Mel's going to do it different, of course, is going to do it. It's Mel versus Caren. Mel's going to do what? You're going to actually do something different.
I'm going to print out an individual one each month. I'm going to use a different color for each month and fill it out, and then compare. I guess I would at the end of the year.
Right.
I'll compare. Honestly, I'll probably compare as I go because I think I'll form a notebook. But I like the idea of having one for a month.
Right, and you'll be able to see your progress. So if you've decided, or if the wheel has told you that you need a lot of help in there, and the next month you've actually been doing stuff, that dot's going to probably go up.
Right, but I think what I anticipate, and we'll check back and we're going to actually maybe in future shows kind of touch these periodically. I think at any given time, as life gives you what she gives you,
right,
your circle might be here. And you might have a deficit in one area, and the next month you've really worked on that and it's gone up. But because life comes at you the way it does, another area where you were really fulfilled is lacking.
Absolutely.
And needs more work. So you're going to kind of see where you need to fill your cup and where you really need to give attention and intention to.
So I'm going to do mine a little differently. I'm going to use the same paper for each month, and I'm going to use a different color for each month so that I can actually...
anxiety. Because, I would like to understand... Because aren't you going to feel like it's just 12 months, it's going to fill up? I filled up I'm just going to show this. I filled up the whole page.
Me too. On
1 month. So how are you going to put 12 there?
Because you don't have to actually do these, what you're going to do. You're looking at the lines. For me, I like to have everything in one place. I'm like, the structure, whatever. Queen of the structure. I want to see that line go up on my graph. It's like a graph for me. I want to actually see the movement.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm just going to make a copy of this, so it's always going to be the same thing. It's always, I don't have to reinvent the wheel there, so to speak. But my wheel literally will have maybe the dots are like this small, but in February they might get a little bigger and bigger and bigger. For me, it's a graph. I can actually see how it grows. Okay. Do what works for you, and this is really what it's about. You may look at this and say, "No, I think I want to do something slightly." Maybe you're going to do a regular graph. And just, where you color the thing. There's so many different ways to do this. Don't say, well, you know what? I don't like the way they do it, so I'm not going to do it. Don't do that.
And I am going to take a moment and share, because where we pigeonhole ourselves, and I consider myself and historically throughout my life have been this, I can see a big picture. I don't always know how to get there, and I change and do different things, but I consider myself a big picture person. And so doing this, that's how I am. I then did this, and where I had the deficit was the life vision. And I really did sit back and went, wait a minute. And then I go like, I am so much more. Came up because what I expected was not what I got at all. And it threw me a little bit, and I was a little annoyed. I'm like, oh, maybe I need to redo it. And I thought, no, this is what I know, right? I'm going to make it exactly what it should be. Right. And then I thought the only person I hurt by doing that is me. And so then when I started to look through what I listed within that category and why, it all started to make so much sense. And part of it, and I'll be a little vulnerable here, was that as, I'm in the 6th decade now and in that 4th quarter, what does my life vision look like? Because that window of the time to do things and the time to be is narrowing.
Absolutely.
And it's not depressing at all. It just is what it is. So then my life vision became, I'm not looking at building something that's going to take me the next 20, 30 years to build.
It's clarity. You're getting clarity. You're getting clarity. One way to do the life vision is a vision board.
Love vision boards,
which is really cool. What I like to do is, because I collect magazines, so I go and I start tearing out pictures and things, and you can use your actual wheel to do this. And you cut out pictures, you cut out words, whatever works for you. I'm a spoken word, so I like the words more than the pictures. So I tend to make, like the kidnapping letters when somebody gets kidnapped and they cut out all the different words and then
ransom letters.
Yeah, ransom letters. So I tend to do words, and you can do it on your computer, you can do it on on your paper, you can put it in the front of your journal, which is really cool too. So I know some people that have done vision boards and they've done them digitally, and it becomes their desktop for the year.
That's very cool. I've done them every January for probably the past 10 years, and I label the year, and then I write my intention for that year on the back of it, and actually mine are wallpaper in my laundry room. But now when I go back, it's fascinating because you can look and I see what I did in, say, 2017 and then really what manifested, and it is a little mind-blowing.
It is, and when we talk about setting those goals and those intentions. That's a really good word, setting those intentions, because if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there?
How are you going to get there?
Right?
It's the journey, but how do you?
Right.
You need to have a vision for what that looks like, and that's what really revealed itself to me. First, startlingly, and I was not happy about it, but then in a really positive way. Yeah. And then an understanding about how to redirect that life vision. So,
and also when some of the things that I looked at were very high on the thing that I thought I had to work on more than I actually do, because when I really sat down and put it all down, it's like, that's actually going pretty good. Yeah, I was really surprised on that both sides.
Is there one you would want to share?
Well, yeah, personal growth would be the one that I was actually a little surprised it was so high on because I'm always reading, self-help books and personal, and it's clearly it's working to the point though that I think that I almost can't even read anything else because I'm so caught up in this. I'm going to self-develop myself, but at the end of the day, I guess I've been doing a pretty good job, because when I wrote it down, that's actually
how
okay.
Awesome is that?
Yeah, it is really awesome. Now, I happen to love a writer by the name of Stephen Covey.
Why does that sound familiar?
Well, first of all, he's an amazing, he's no longer with us, but he is an organizational life planning, the whole thing. And he wrote a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. Of course. Right? And that book will be in the kit. I have read that. I actually read it every year. And what the book does is he talks about begin with the end in mind. And if I can say there is one thing that I learned from him, that every time I do something, when I work with people, when I in relationships, I always say, well, what is your end goal? If you don't know where you're going. So let's begin with the end in mind. Then you can do all those steps, all those goals, all those intentions to get there. So I encourage you to check it out. There's also one for teenagers. Stephen's son, I can't remember his name, he wrote one for teenagers. Oh, wow. So that teenagers can do it.
And that would be tremendous now, because our youth has gone through so many negative transitions through COVID and not being in school and not being face-to-face. To have that ability to look at it through a different lens would be tremendously beneficial. Absolutely.
And, Stephen Covey is not the only author out there that does stuff like this. So if you start reading it and you go, not for me, you want to be looking for something that maybe can help you begin with the end in mind. Because sometimes you don't even know what the end is, right? You don't even know where you want to go. So there are books out there that will help you. And I would encourage you to do that. So we're going to go back to the kit for a second. And I want to show you the next one. So I kind of alluded to it last month. I love this guy.
Oh, I know.
I love this guy. His name is David Gandelman. And you can find him among other places on social media and everything, but on an app called Insight Timer.
And it's free.
Yep.
And there are hundreds of thousands of meditations.
Yeah, let's talk about the different kinds of meditations. So there are guided meditations, which I tend to do because if I don't have somebody telling me what I'm supposed to be doing the next 3 minutes or the next 5 minutes, or breathe now or don't breathe, I won't do it. And I remember when I first started meditating with Insight Timer, I started with the 5-minute meditation. It was like, I didn't think I was going to be able to sit there for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I wouldn't think you would either.
Right. But you know what? A lot of people have that. And that's why people don't meditate. They literally say, I can't do that.
But you can.
But you can. And so I started doing it. And I've now gotten to the point that I don't like to meditate less than an hour at a time.
That's wonderful.
And it's guided. It's all guided. But Insight Timer has classes that you can take, like 21 days. And you and I are actually doing the 21-day class with David Gandelman about creating gratitude.
Morning meditation. And really starting your day. And, the first, actually, I think that one of the early meditations was about picking a memory that brought you a challenge and that keeps pulling you into the past, not in a positive way, and finding a way to find gratitude in that. And so those are the things. And each one is very simple. They're only 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's short.
And it really is a fabulous way to start your day. Just do, and then get on with your coffee or whatever you've got to do. Right. Wake up a little early and give yourself that time to find that peace within. Which
goes back to December self-care. You're taking care of yourself. Now, if the guided meditation does not float your boat and you go, no, I don't want that, there's music meditation. I also listen to classical music.
Same.
And that can bring me into that space. I practice breath and breathing. There are a lot of techniques out there, and you learn them right on Insight Timer. There's another one called Calm. There's Headspace. There's a lot of them.
Apple Watch has Breathe.
Right.
Just anytime that you allow yourself and give yourself the space to go within.
Right. And not just when you're meditating. You can be driving, and you literally, if you're expressing and you know that you're anxious. Always, I suffer from anxiety. I'm not private about that. So I will practice breath control, even if I'm in the car or I'm sitting on the couch or I'm in bed, wherever I am. I'll do a breath exercise.
So important.
It really is. It's bringing the oxygen in as well. And there's that. So that's a really huge thing in meditation is the breath. But the other part of meditation is actually identifying that from the top of your head all the way down to your toes, you isolate all the different muscles and all that stuff. Again, I had never done that, but I started doing this 4 years ago. Yeah. And it's been a game changer.
It is a game changer.
It's totally a game changer.
Well, and I think this goes to speaking about the intentions that you set. And maybe in January, something that you think about for yourself is not this big scope, but just a little bit of you. Give to you. And that's your intention. That's your goal.
And so one of the things that when you're meditating, they will say, get yourself in a quiet spot, put your earbuds in, or maybe a headset or a Bose thing. So we found this really cool thing that I think this is a game changer because I go to bed with meditation and I always have my earbuds in and they're, you can't. This is actually a headband that has speakers in it. It's wireless.
Amazing.
Yeah. And you can use it for exercise, but you can also put it on your head. You can see that it's completely flat. It's literally a headband.
And you don't have to, I have the problem with the earbuds always falling out.
Yeah.
No matter what. And I don't like the big bulky ones.
So there are a lot. We have this in the kit, this particular one. I mean, there's other ones. There's ones that are more expensive, ones that are less expensive. This one spoke to me because it's black and white, and I happen to like black and white, but you can do whatever you want. But we encourage you to look at ways to make your goal setting, your goal setting, your intention setting, your meditation, so that you don't have any excuses not to do it, right?
Right, and that's setting yourself up
to succeed, right.
Not to fail.
Absolutely. So,
and even to that, sorry, but don't say, okay, I'm come out of the gates, I'm going to meditate an hour a morning or an hour a day. Don't. Start small. Say, even if think about maybe while you're standing doing your dishes or ironing your clothes or whatever it is, getting your kids ready to go out the door. Take a few moments.
Right.
And just quiet it. That's meditation.
I think I actually said this the other day. I like standing doing dishes in the warm water
Mm-hmm.
It's very soothing. It's very meditative.
Mm-hmm.
Who would ever think doing dishes was meditative?
Right.
But it totally is. I enjoy that. It's actually
Mm-hmm.
something I look forward to. So think about the things that you do in your life that really calm you down. Do more of that.
That's meditating.
Totally. Do more of that.
Yeah, you don't have to be in a quiet, secluded space with your back against the wall and your hands here and candles. And that's, you don't have to do that.
You don't have to do that.
You can find, it's about bringing your breath, getting in line with it, healing into your body, and allowing just the air to flow and the chatter to stop.
Do a couple meditation. If you happen to have a significant other in your life, there are meditations you can do. We put a lot of stuff in the Uncork kit, and you can see it by going to bit.ly/Uncork Live. In addition to that, we have some really cool books we put in there. One of my favorite books that I started using at 4 a.m. in the morning when I get up is called Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. And basically his whole concept is, he tells people, get up early to do this. Well, I didn't have to get up any earlier. People go, I've actually seen individuals post, well, I don't know how I'm going to get up at 5 in the morning, right? But whatever, you can do it in 6 minutes. He does 6 steps. You're going to do a minute of fitness. You're going to do a minute of drink a glass of water. You're going to do a journal. You're going to do a meditation. And you literally do it. I choose not to do it in 6 minutes. I choose to take the whole hour, and I do 10-minute segments for each one. That makes more sense for me. It might not make more sense for you.
Right.
This is a great book. There's also another Miracle Morning for couples. So you should check that one out as well, especially if you have a significant other, so that you can get maybe more in tune with your significant other. And it really does bring spirituality and a greater attachment, I think, with your, significant other.
And you touched on this earlier, that you love classical music, and playing music helps you through. And an app that I absolutely love is Spotify.
Me too.
And one of the best aspects of it and the features are the playlists. But another thing is that it'll give you suggestions based on what your listening habits are.
Yes.
So I find it really fun, like Discover Weekly. They kind of go through, it picks up your habits.
Right.
And then you get a whole new playlist that you didn't pick out, but based on what you're listening to, they make suggestions. And my favorite one is that like it'll do Summer Rewind or the rewinds. And those kind of take, it's like music can either take you to the best or the worst part of your life. And usually it's the best.
I tend to listen to piano classical music.
Oh, and I listen to the Baroque.
And so it knows my habits.
Yeah.
So it will send me a playlist with Chopin in it, or it will send me a playlist with whoever is that. So, and the other one is Pandora. So you can also check out Pandora, Apple Music. I mean, there are so many things. Amazon Music. You can even go to YouTube and make yourself a playlist of people singing songs, and just, you don't have to be looking at the computer. It will play the music for you. Yeah. So that's another great way to...
and to create a workout, cook, it's really, it's fun.
It's great. Fun. And what's really, I love Spotify too, because, and I think they probably all do, it connects with my Alexa. And so I'm able just to say, Alexa, play some classical music for me. And Alexa will play classical music. We hope we've given you some, things to think about, right? And doing your balanced wheel. We'd love to hear from you. Some of the stuff I'm sure is very private, and I'm sure it is very private, and you don't want to share. But if there's something that comes out of this for you that you go, wow, this is really cool, and you want to share, let us know. Put it in the comments or direct message us,
and pass it on.
Pass
to
it
your
on.
Friends,
yeah,
because it was a really interesting way to sit back at the very beginning of a new year.
Yeah.
And reflect and kind of push forward and move on. Yeah. And it revealed a lot of fun surprises.
It did. And, we like to say we're everywhere, but one of the things that we're really proud about, and we've been talking about it for a few months, is that we have a wonderful sponsor, Vitalcy, and it's a great platform, and it's really about what gets you up in the morning, right? It's all those things. It's not about age. It's not about, oh my God, I'm so old or whatever. This is about having ability to be vital, and ability to, instead of worry about those things at night that keep you up, let's actually get excited about those things that make you want to jump out of bed in the morning, right?
Well, and it is a platform that really encourages exploring and learning about life at this time, and we're kind of peeking at what exactly that means, and how we ended up here, and what our lives look like. And it's a beautiful platform, and so informative and entertaining.
It really is. Check us out on Vitalcy. You can follow us on Twitter and on YouTube,
Instagram,
Facebook, and the Vitalcy site, which is vitalcy.com. You can check everything out there. You'll see all of our shows live there. They also live on, by the way, on Roku and Amazon Fire. We are everywhere. Oh my gosh. We are everywhere.
We're so much more.
We are so much more. Thank you for joining us today. This was a blast today.
It was really fun. Thank you. Yeah. And we really wish you all the best in the new year. However you manage through it, do it safely and do it well, and be healthy and happy. And
we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.